Will.
Thank you for having us.
Hey, bud.
Jesse.
Reunited.
Reunited. Thank you for being here in the Jumeirah Carlton Tower. This is my suite. I keep it here.
Do you have to get the ad in then?
Was that natural enough?
Yeah.
Did you think that went down okay?
Do you think viewership's just going to retain?
I'm going to mention it 3 more times in the next 45 minutes.
Okay.
You see if you can spot them.
Okay.
But no, I keep this open at all times, just in case you guys are in Knightsbridge and want to just hang out. And
Is this your house? Is this where you live?
no,
Oh.
no, I expense it. It's an empty suite. Don't really know where I'm going with this.
Should we start again?
Not at all. So we're here vaguely because Topjaw's about to turn 10 years old.
No, it is. It's already.
It's already turned 10 years old.
April of this year.
And there's a party next week.
There is a party next week. Did you get your invite?
I've RSVP'd.
Oh, thank God. For that.
And?
Suddenly thought.
And the answer is yes.
Oh,
No,
yeah.
and dietaries?
No dietaries, but 1+1.
Nice.
Yet to be decided.
Oh, who's in the running?
It'll probably almost certainly be my fiance.
Don't pretend there's anyone else.
I want that on the record. So 10 years, I think a lot of people don't realise that Topjaw's been going for 10 years. Is that fair to say? It burst into most of our lives 2022, probably?
23 was
23.
the big, which is why we're launching a beer with 40 Foot Brewery, which Will mentioned earlier. It's not really an ad because and it is an ad, but all the money goes to Street Smart charity, which is like a charity that works a lot with hospitality industry and very focused in London. And it's called Overnight Success. Cheers to 10 years.
Okay.
For that very reason, because people often call us an overnight success.
Yeah.
That's been chugging away.
Well, that's
We've been
what they
working
say.
very hard for a very long time, but it's nice to get a bit of recognition now.
Yeah, quite right. They say it takes 10 years to make every overnight success.
Yeah.
What were your very earliest videos like? What was the first one? Do you remember what that was? 2015.
Yeah.
That was the Best Burger in London series. And
Wow.
It was an exciting time for...
You're not moved on.
Exactly.
No, we haven't moved on.
But
But we were very much working out at the time. You know, it was... I'd be shooting and editing it. Now we have an amazing team of editors, but I think there was an opportunity for us to create something together and start making films, and that's where we started. Why did we start on Best Burger?
Well, I think we were both we really liked the hospitality industry, and it was the time when we all actually finally had like a good phone in our pocket. Like 2014 was when actually things were like, that's a good picture. And I've got Instagram now rather than like Flickr or wherever we had before. And I think restaurants then started really leaning into that brand experiential thing and putting a lot of effort into a menu and the interior design and trying to stand out rather than it just being Stradas and ZZs and that kind of raw Greek and stuff.
And Jesse and I had experience working together in a similar sort of flow. He was presenting something for a brand that we work with, and I was the filmmaker. So we kind of had a little bit of experience doing a sort of similar thing.
Yeah.
And we got on very well, and we loved hanging out, and we both have a serious amount of drive and passion to sort of fill every waking minute with something in the day. So when work would finish each day, we'd pack up the camera and go and tell some stories.
Yeah.
What was work then at the time? What were you doing for your living in 2015?
So I was part of a business called Candy Kittens with Ed and Jamie. Yeah. Right.
What was your role there?
Oh,
Sausage.
there was no real roles. It was sausage roll. Rock and roll. It was very much like we were all mucking in. I mean, because I was there at the start, and so we were just coming up with like what Candy Kittens was going to be.
Yeah.
At the time, Ed and Jamie had made some T-shirts, but the idea was always to have this confectionery brand. And then Ed had said, "Oh, hang on, my mate Will from university is moving to London as a filmmaker, setting up a production company, and so we can do a little skill swap where he can have some space in our office, and he'll make a video for us once a month."
Wow.
And then so I would then present the videos with Will, and we were like, this is the best thing we do of everything that we do. And so let's do a YouTube channel,
So does Jamie have equity in Topjaw Incorporated?
No.
He should. No,
No,
of course not.
no, it
Of course
shouldn't.
not. Absolutely. Let's not encourage that. So, and they were long form videos. They were.
Yeah.
How long? How long were we
Well,
talking?
I mean, still like 10 minutes.
10 minutes. Yeah. But shot obviously in.
But very much
other
like,
format.
you know, we were making the films at that time. There was, I think, for us, less awareness of like the algorithm and what is required to make a good film that does well. And it was very much a side hustle and a passion project and a creative outlet for a filmmaker. And I think we were very much just making the films that felt very true to us. And to some extent, we still do that, but we certainly play to the algorithm more now.
Yeah.
Well, it's serious now.
It's more serious. There's no point going through that work of like shooting an abroad film for 3 days and coming back and not following certain rules
Yeah, of
that allow
course.
it to sort of get more views.
But for 8 years, it was a passion project. It was like a side thing.
Yeah.
It wasn't making much money or anything like that. It would wash its face, and we were sort of saving a little bit of money.
We got paid £3,000 by to go on the Gumball Rally. And
It was actually 5,000.
was it £5,000?
It felt
That was
like
our first,
an enormous
brand
amount of
gig.
money.
Wow.
And we drove the Gumball Rally and vlogged every day. We totally overpromised with what we wanted to deliver because we really wanted the gig.
Yeah.
So we did these like video diaries every day.
And we had an editor in the back of the car editing as we went.
Yeah.
And we got him like a cat TV tray with like pictures of cats all over them. You know, like a beanbag TV dinner tray.
Yeah.
And so he was editing in the back of this BMW M5.
Editing? I mean, the acceleration,
Yeah.
the speed you have to go through makes it pretty hard to do any.
How long
mouse
does the
work.
Gumball Rally take?
Well, it's 3,000 miles and you do it over a week, basically. So it's
Wow.
like 8 days all in. But
So you're actually most people just go and drive the rally, but you were driving the rally and filming videos and editing them and then posting them.
Yeah.
In the same day.
we would never do that ever again. Like, even when we did it, we were like, this was fun and all, but like...
Oh no, you don't mean? I mean, we would do it again.
Oh, we'll do the Gumball again, but we wouldn't ever commit to like doing a video and then getting it out like the same
every
day or
single
next
day.
day, like every day.
Ludicrous.
That is crazy. I mean, different, I guess, if you're editing on your phone, like doing CapCut or whatever and just splicing something together.
Yeah.
But doing the kind of video that we were trying to do was just way over ambitious. Yeah.
And so you came after 8 years to a crossroads. That sounds very profound.
Yeah.
You had to decide, I guess, whether it was going to be a side project or whether it was going to be the
Well,
thing.
it was more dramatic than that. It was like, right, this has been a side project for this long. Are we going to like pack it in because it takes up a lot of time? Will was starting a family, or if we're going to carry it on, we have to put our all into it because it's one or the other. We can't carry it on as a side project anymore. What's it going to be? And so we just decided we couldn't possibly pack it in. So let's just
Came
go
reasonably
for it.
far with it. It would feel a real shame to
Yeah.
knock it on the head. But the way that we were operating with freelance editors and the long form films, like it was just so hard to get content out quick enough that we would be having any form of exciting growth. So we knew we had to do short form. We committed to taking it very seriously and building a team. And yeah, we have done so. We've got very talented editors and producer now, and it allows you, as you can imagine, to increase the output, and the output with a creative idea increases the sort of growth and the attention on it. So it's been really fun couple of years.
Yeah.
Yeah. But we're always trying to get better and better and better, like our content.
Course.
Even if you look at our content from the very early Best of Londons, it's so different now.
And how important was that, the sort of format you hit on to the success? That gave it a real character, a real energy.
As in that the Best of London thing?
Yeah, Best of London.
Yeah, I mean that. Yeah. When we started doing that, and we had 70,000 followers on Instagram, and we came up with that Best of London thing, started putting that out, and then it was just so transformational. I mean, I think we doubled our following in the first month or two, and the whole series really hit something. The very first one we put out. That's the nice thing about social media; it doesn't really lie. If you've got a good format, it will immediately work. And so the very first video we put out, we'd never get more than say like 20,000, 30,000 views on a reel. If we got over 30,000 views on a reel, we're like, oh, this is a really good one. And then that first one like blasted to 1.5 million.
That was Don Fernando, was it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it did really well on
Love
TikTok
Don.
and Instagram. And we were like, oh, that's kind of cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we really just rode that wave, and people were really like into it, and the momentum we created was really exciting.
And so, what is it that it taps into? Do you think? What is it in London then or London now, culturally in the air, that people really want to know what these people recommend, what they think?
It's a funny one. I think it's your choices in those departments, those questions that are asked. They're almost like a set of tattoos. Like, I feel like there's so many of us in London, and actually your preferences, if you class yourself as anywhere near like a foodie or whatever, those little choices in those questions kind of, it's almost part of your identity.
Yeah.
And so then I think it then creates this dinner party chat or whatever when you're at the pub, and people will always say to us like, oh, you've created a game, like chefs in kitchens or whatever. They will ask each other the same questions, and it becomes, and then 1 year on, your answers might have totally changed. Like we did it with Grace Dent last Christmas, and I think we should do it again this Christmas, and just revisit the same questions, because it's so interesting to see how they transform. And
the question "best restaurant in London" is impossible, isn't it? Yeah.
It's a stupid question.
Stupid, but the stupidity is the genius in an odd way. Like having to put someone on the spot on that moment. That's really what we always want to ask people, like in the know. What is the best? What is ultimately?
What's your favorite?
Yeah, what's your favorite? Who's your favorite kid?
And I think we sort of thought about saying favorite, but then actually best is
even better.
It's like a bit more obnoxious, because it's kind of being like, it's not my favorite. This is just the answer.
Yeah. It encourages more debate in the comments, isn't it?
Yeah.
And I think that's another reason why the series does well, is it has, all the sort of the recipes for a good viral series. People want to share it with their mates. They want to save it for a rainy day. They want to comment and be, argue. Throw some shade in the comments. So it sort of has a little bit of everything that's required for, a film like that to sort of boot off.
Yeah.
And some really boot off where they are a bit controversial, or they have, more interesting answers. I think we've done a couple hundred episodes, and it's we got to be really careful now that we don't like hear River Cafe as the opening best rest. Like, so there's certain things that will probably make people tune off, because it's sort of like, oh, I heard these before, like,
Gotta keep it fresh.
And
we still do them because people still want them, but the frequency, we were doing like, putting out one a day.
Yeah.
But now it's more like, one a week or whatever.
So we're maybe not posting all of them now. They have to really feel right.
Okay.
Because we don't want to, we don't want this series to ever stop. And I think, if, in order to give it longevity, it's sort of being a little bit more careful and selective over who, and making sure their answers. Although Stephen Graham's is quite hilarious. I've just seen the end of that.
Yeah.
Not a huge amount in London.
Yeah. Well, the part 2 is more in London, but he's yeah, you'll see it. It's very entertaining.
Yeah.
And that's sometimes like lots of people watch them and they just say like they've kind of tuned out from the answers now. It's more just the entertainment.
But you want to watch
factor.
Stephen Graham because he's just so
totally,
engaging.
Yeah.
So it's interesting you say you don't pull all of them out. What's the ingredients of like a killer one? And on the other hand, what's the anatomy of a flop, so to speak?
Well, it's difficult. I mean, I think that the person we interview now has to be like, this has to be very interesting, and they can't just be, another middle-aged white bloke. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Who's like got a miscellaneous opinion. It sort of has to be someone that's got a lot of personality, or they're very opinionated, or they're very interesting. It's like some of the interviews that did really well before, we would be like, I don't even think this is good enough to go out, and then they'd smash.
Yeah.
And it was just really hard. And even now, we still get like, we did the compilation of like taking all the best burger answers, and that was sat in our spreadsheet for so long, that link, and I was just like, I don't even want to put it out. It just feels so like it did so well, and we it's funny, we sometimes do talks.
How did it do?
It was currently on 1.1 on TikTok. 1.1 million on Instagram, and something like 600,000-700,000 on TikTok. Which for
he's the numbers.
Which
guy.
for a compilation of like the burger video, it is weird. You just think like, and it's funny. We'll go do talks, seeing as like a bit of an expert in this field, and we're like, we're not experts. we're getting like things disproven to ourselves all the time.
Yeah.
But you just got to sort of keep adapting and be on the forefront of it.
And what about when it goes wrong? Some people are just incredibly stiff or awkward, or you just don't get on with them, or
No, it's not so much that. I mean, actually, some of the really awkward ones that we've been worried to put out then do really well.
Yeah.
And it's almost like because people are drawn to maybe the awkwardness appears authentic, and that is, if someone comes on and they're too performative, like we had someone come on and had really rehearsed all of their answers,
pre-written gags, and
and everything, all the delivery, and surprise, surprise, it didn't particularly resonate because it was like, what the hell? It just felt a bit odd.
yeah.
Gordon's did well though.
Huh?
Gordon's did well though.
Yeah, of course.
But he came in.
Oh, I see, a little bit rehearsed. Yeah,
but he comes in all guns blazing.
Yeah, of course. He's a persona.
Full.
Yeah.
Tilt.
Yeah.
He gave us everything and more. It was so good.
Did you see someone commented being like, I would watch 18 seasons of this, of the Gordon interview. And someone else commented, had like hundreds of likes. Someone commented saying, all I want to see is you two driving an ice cream van around Europe. Or so, it was very bizarre.
Good format.
Huh?
It's a good format.
It is a good format. I would love to see you both doing a road trip, perhaps an ice cream van, dispensing Mr. Whippies and bickering like conjoined twins.
Okay. And what about, do some people ever come on and clearly they really don't eat at very good restaurants or really eat out at all, and they're just sort of parroting? Do you ever hear just people and go, okay?
Yeah, sometimes you get offered someone that's really exciting. We're like, oh, I've got to film with them.
Yeah.
It's come in through, some press junket, through a film or whatever.
Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
Yeah.
Exhibit A.
Yeah.
Oh, you really offered him?
Yeah.
I was thinking of a typical press junket offer where you go,
River
ooh.
Cafe and Spaghetti House.
Well, they're just not going to
Spaghetti House most overrated.
No, we didn't do the interview. That's very misleading.
Trying to pass that one.
No,
Okay.
it's just that if sometimes they really want to do the Best of London format, or their management does, and we're like, okay, but do they know London?
Yeah.
And if they're like, yeah, and we're like, okay,
We
push again, and then it turns out they're like, they don't really know London, so okay, let's not do it. But it's mad the people we turned down, like Heather Graham yesterday. Heather Graham was like a real childhood crush of mine. Yeah. And then you have to be like, no, because it's not going to be particularly relevant for our audience, I don't think.
Okay.
Which is a shame.
There was an amazing, do you remember My London in the back of Evening Standard magazine? Jeff Bridges did it a few years ago, having been to London maybe once, and all his answers were like, I've heard good things about Claridge's, can't wait to stay there. Like, favourite hotel, favourite restaurant. The grill at Claridge's is pretty good.
We actually filmed with Adrian Brody. We literally filmed with Adrian Brody, which was a real fun one. And we were promised that he'd spend months and months in London.
He's acted, yeah.
Yeah. But we actually made a really funny edit, but his management decided to not let us put it out.
Okay.
Which is kind of fair enough. But he did say Tesco as one of his answers.
Oh, that's quite fun, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
I kind of love that.
But
Tesco meal deal.
I don't think we saw the fun. We saw like the amusing, like quite endearing side.
They saw the headlines.
But yeah, I think they just were like, oh, this isn't really.
This isn't on brand for Adrian.
Yeah. Which is a shame because that was quite a good coup to get him.
Yeah. So what answers then do you hear all the time? I mean, River Cafe seems to come up a huge amount. What's going on with the River Cafe? That's sort of now just reached like beyond icon status, that it's kind of.
I feel like River Cafe is slightly Emperor's New Clothes. Where like no one dares say anything bad about it.
Yeah.
And it is lovely. It's 38 years ago. I think I even said this on that panel thing, like because I seeming to always get asked about River Cafe, but it's a real pioneer of like it almost made fine casual dining like a thing in London, which was awesome. But now it's £60 for a plate of pasta, and it's
not particularly big one either.
No. I always say, I think if you're a real committed foodie in London, go. But equally, you could just go have a chocolate nemesis and a coffee, and
maybe John Malkovich is nearby,
and you're out for 20 quid, and it's like you've had a really nice time.
Yeah,
and chocolate nemesis is the best thing on the menu.
Yeah. There you go. And so what other answers sort of seem to be coming up more? What's trending at the moment?
Oh, training at the moment. Okay.
Um,
What do people really?
I feel like
at the moment?
you are canaries down the mind of things that are just about to become very, very big and popular.
The desperate to try question is always an interesting one, because sometimes the best restaurant is like, maybe those like slightly more iconic places or well-known brands, but the desperate to try. I remember when we first started asking that, and everyone was saying mountain, because it was just opening
Just about
up,
to
and
open,
it was
yeah.
Thomas Parry, and it was like,
take that in ages, have we?
No.
It's literally totally gone.
it's totally gone. But now the desperate.
And that's not
to
an
try,
editorial decision. It's generally hasn't come up.
Now, I'm hearing a lot about Alta
Yeah.
in Kingley Court. I'm hearing a lot about Moi or Moi. It's a
Not-
Japanese restaurant with a French sounding name, M-O-I.
Where?
Wow.
Moi. It's like a listening bar, which we were having this chat the other day. Where isn't a listening bar these days?
Yeah, everyone's got a vinyl player in the corner.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, you cannot call yourself a listening bar.
No.
If like a proper listening bar,
Yeah, I
if you
mean-
just have a half good sound system and a record player.
Yeah.
Have you been to any good ones in London?
Good listening bars?
Yeah.
No. But there's meant to be quite a good one at the place, the OWO, the Japanese
really?
bar.
I bet they would do it well. I bet they.
Yeah.
Big budget on that, baby.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I think a listening bar is like, you need to be working in Tokyo for like 30 years with like the exact kind of right
Yep,
wood
absolutely.
and baffles.
We've
and
been
everything.
spoiled. We went to one in Austin, and it was like,
Yeah.
just the biggest budget, all so beautifully sound insulated,
yeah.
and
Well, you're
It's
in a speaker. That's a real listening bar. Is when the whole thing has been designed. So yeah, you have sound,
Yeah.
but you are within something. So this thing was all curved, and Will and I were just like, we've never had this like sonic experience.
Yeah.
No.
Kind of
before
like
in
a
our
list,
lives.
like one of those whispering walls where.
Like you're just engulfed in it. You're just
Yeah.
engulfed in the sound, and it's not like
maybe
doesn't-
emotional, man. It was like
it's not hugely loud. Like it is loud, but you can almost sort of talk to each other. It's bizarre, but yeah, anywhere that just pops up, speakers on the shelf.
Speakers on a shelf and a vinyl player
Yeah,
with some
that's-
Italo disco.
That's feel like you're just grabbing at straws there.
Yeah, of course. So talk me through the behind the scenes of how a video works nowadays. Do you seek people out, the guests, or do the guests come to you? What's the proportion there?
we get a lot of outreach. There's always a press junket or
Yeah.
someone, a PR representing someone that wants to get them in front of us, which is nice and makes that easy. But we're very much we're very conscious of making sure there's always a good flow and balance of the people that that we're
Yeah.
getting on, and it's very easy to get very excited to get Idris and the likes
Yeah.
on the channel the whole time. But it's very important to represent the whole industry as well and make sure we're getting the right chefs. And so we are. Kayla, our producer's got her ear to the ground and is out a lot, and Jess is out a lot in the evenings researching. And we have very much have our ideas
Yeah.
as well, but to have that flow coming into the inbox is
But basically, any big name celeb has come in. So is there PR that's like approached us to do it?
Yeah.
Because we would waste a lot of time if we're DMing the likes of Ed
Yeah.
Sheeran, like, come on. But chefs wise, hospitality, invariably it's us out, because we're not particular. If you're a chef and you have a lot of money
Yeah.
and you can buy a PR company to harass us to get something, you're probably not exactly the chef that we want to speak to.
Yeah.
We want to speak to more like the people who are properly in it,
Yeah.
not the visiting multi-Michelin star chef necessarily. They're great,
every now and again.
but like really, it's better to be, and we've sort of been criticised for having like the big celebs on. But and I've seen it in comments, people being like, "Oh, it used to be great when it was chefs, and now it's just celebs." And I've replied to it saying, "That's probably the fact that your algorithm hasn't
Yeah.
shown you the 5 chefs that we've just interviewed, but you're being shown
Exactly.
this big celeb because people are engaging with it and it's interesting and it pushes out." And also for us, it's like having like a big name, big name celeb or whatever. It introduces us to new people, because people will find us through, what does somebody feed Phil know really about London? But
Yeah.
he is also like a big foodie person, and we then collab it with him. That introduces us to a new audience, which then pulls more people in, which then we can then show them true London. And the chefs like Elliot Hastrugi at Camille. You know, it's all.
Yeah.
It's just about developing.
Yeah.
And I think it's a similar approach to our restaurant studies as well. You know, we're in amongst these street interviews. Now they've helped us get this following. You know, we really loved what we've always done, which is like the restaurant studies and going into somewhere and telling the story of a place and getting under the skin and getting in the kitchen and trying the food. But it's a similar kind of approach in that, you know, it's very easy, and we always get offered to come and film at those big fancy restaurants that have big budgets for big PR companies. But actually, we have a focus now on, you know, trying to make sure we're showing, of course, the whole spectrum, and you know, profiling the young chefs that are like coming up through, and the, you know, those that are struggling, and those that need support if they've got onto something great, but it's just not quite working.
And the old institutions, the old icons, like we need to, like the Bar Italia video that we put out on this weekend, you know, and wonderfully that like really resonated with people, but all those places, like we need to.
There's no press hook for Bar Italia really, but it's just amazing.
No critics going in there and writing the news.
No.
So it's very much like we get excited about doing those and making a difference to those places. We've been turning down Carbone's advances every other day. Yeah.
Have you eaten there yet?
No, and I probably never will.
Have you eaten the New York one?
No.
I don't.
I feel like I will retract that. I might eat there at some point out of interest, but never to like profile it.
No, they don't need our help.
Well, exactly, and it's like such big budget. I mean, the Rosewood is like
that room is vast.
Like you know, that will soon become a landmark just because of its like opulence. But you don't need us going in there.
No, because it can make a huge difference to restaurants. Are there any kind of stories that have really, really surprised you about the impact it's had on a restaurant's success, or helped a restaurant that was on its last legs, I guess?
Yeah, I mean, people, sometimes it's hard to quantify things in like numbers. I mean, Dom Hamdy
Dom.
Yeah, brilliant Dom. Was on a podcast. He opened a restaurant called Canal in Westbourne Grove. You know, it was a brand new building, like it had never been a restaurant. There's no footfall, there's nothing round there really, just on that, he calls it like the gritty Riviera, which is the canal that's just covered in graffiti. And
there's that Irish pub behind it, which I've now stumbled upon because of it, which is like kind of amazingly untouched and authentic. It's brilliant. And also the street outside it is like cobbled. Incredibly badly cobbled. So it feels like old London. It's a bit of an adventure. But no, I agree. When he told me he was opening there, I sort of thought, that's that, because it's just over that bridge. It's a tough neck of the woods.
Because like lots of places change hands around there, and the only one that seems to stick it out is the Costa Coffee that's like on that crossing. But he said that when we went and did a video and put it out, I think the day the restaurant opened or something, and he got like 800 bookings overnight.
Brilliant.
We did like a really Nave of Clubs video. And also, and with that, Dom was like, we would never have got that many people here that quickly, you know, and that was really like, nothing is more rewarding to us than hearing that. And we don't get paid by any restaurant. We make a real thing about it that never for the 10 plus years of Topjaw have we ever got paid by a restaurant or hospitality company to come there and film. We decline those offers every single day. I have like an email template where I just go, thank you very much for your inquiry, but we don't commercially engage. No.
And do people still knowing that say, come on, but every man has his price?
Yes.
Carbone?
No. But like, you know, sometimes big groups like, you know, the All Bar Ones or whatever go like, but what if we...
Of course.
What if we make it worth your time?
Yeah.
And we're
what
like,
if I buy you...
See you later.
Yeah. Okay, well, that's very, very encouraging to hear. But yeah, with someone like Dom, what does he say to you? Thanks, that is like entirely down to you. Does he give you a big hug when he sees you?
It's lovely to hear it when there's a bit of recognition or a shout out in an article. Because, you know, some people are vocal about it and want to tell us, and others maybe don't tell us and don't want to like necessarily let on that we were the, like, you know, a reason, which is, it's interesting. But yeah, it's really nice. There was another story, and you'll tell it better than I do, but the Terra Bar van in Paris, that was just like a tiny little neighborhood, you know, restaurant, and we went and featured it, and just you know, see people going afterwards, and there was
Yeah.
a neighbour that sort of lived in the building opposite, and he'd literally hear the word Topjaw on a daily basis
Topjaw.
that people had come
No,
there
'cause
off the back.
Le Topjaw.
Because people from all over the world were watching the video. Do you know what I mean?
Okay.
So it wasn't necessarily
Just
French.
Parisians. Yeah.
Yeah, and they messaged us and they were like, they said something like, 2 years on, and
Wow.
we're still daily having visits from people, and it's just, it's nice. It's a reason to continue.
Yeah.
It's way more. Nothing makes me feel better or gives me more goosebumps than like hearing that a place is, very heavily frequented by people that have seen it on Topjaw, and we don't create necessarily this weekend virality, and it's got a queue out the door because people are looking where to spend that bit of money that weekend and then never again. I feel like so proud of the audience that we've built because they are discerning and they're going to stick it out. We don't open videos with crazy cheese pulls or sat there with a gargantuan amount of food in front of us because we know that'll get views. We know it.
Yeah.
But that's not the views we want. We want people who are properly looking for like where to go and have a really good time and a good meal and go and spend money at the place that deserve it. You can't do that at Canal. You can't sit there and fill a table with food with like all their food because people will be like, what is that? Because do you know what I mean? It's not designed to look like bleh. Try and transcribe that, by the way.
Yeah. Sorry.
It's just very, very good food and meals that are not necessarily going to be so attention grabbing unless you're in it, unless you want to sort of listen to what's being said. And therefore, I think it creates a lot more of a long-standing customer.
Yeah. Do you think we're kind of over the peak of the hype restaurants queuing up for things, people queuing basically to show that they've been there and put it on their Instagram? Are people now seeing past that?
I don't know whether we're ever in that. No, I don't think so. And I don't think we ever will be. I think that that used to be, they get a great write-up in a newspaper or word was spread about something and people will be queuing up for it.
But it's a different thing now, isn't it? Because people used to go up because they wanted the experience of the food or maybe the bragging rights. Now people sort of queue up because one item, I don't know, a matcha latte has gone viral or a certain slice of pizza that's actually a lasagna or something.
All I can say is if you are looking for that type of thing or if you're that type of person, then you won't find it on Topjaw.
Okay.
There's no point following us for that sort of stuff.
Yeah. Do people? Do you know?
Even like sorry, Joe.
No, please, Will.
But yeah, and I think as our content has definitely like developed over the last couple of years, and we are, everything is becoming. There's a bit more depth. We're chatting to the owners. We're telling the stories better. I think back in the day, Jesse and I used to just bundle through restaurants and just film us prattling around and and eating the food. And there's less of a focus on like the sort of reviewing the food now. We're definitely in more of a place of telling.
Definitely.
Letting these owners and chefs tell their stories, and I think, I think that's something we do like, better. I think we do that well, and that excites us probably more than.
I mean, you will be able to find if you dig deep enough. Us going and profiling a freak shake place in like 2015.
Okay, still out there.
Or a rainbow bagel when that came to London. But we've moved on from that joke.
Yeah.
I can imagine someone taking what I've just said and splicing it with that. But equally, no one watched those videos. So,
No. So that's fine. So
so there was no queue.
Yeah.
There was no virality. Doesn't matter. No one watched it.
Because the thing that always really, really strikes me about you guys is how like you've got very, very deep restaurant knowledge of London in particular. The chefs, almost like the chefs underneath the chefs underneath the chefs, and you really speak to these guys every day. What do you think a lot of us who just eat out at restaurants and love restaurants don't know about the industry that you guys get to see? It's a very difficult time to be in restaurants, for one thing.
I'm so fascinated by the people that work in the industry because everything is sort of telling you that it's not a particularly great idea. It's like we all know that chefs and people working in hospitality are working when the rest of the society is socializing.
Yeah.
And that already is a massive commitment and like sacrifice. but then it's never been, especially the people who then go out and actually open these businesses to run them. I mean, it has never been harder. Everything just moves against you, like, and with the national insurance like that, and then living wages is constantly increasing, and it's just such a daily battle for them. And so I really feel that I just hope that people know how difficult it is and how much respect should be given to these places. It winds me up no end. We'll go and do a video on a restaurant, and especially like maybe someone's opened a new one, and I will look at their Google reviews quite heavily. Like I will be monitoring it, and I'm so weird. It will really wind me up. I remember when Josephine opened, and Claude Bosey and Lucy Bosey, they opened this bouchon in Fulham, and one of their first reviews was a 1-star review because someone got stuck in the toilet. Because they someone came and got them out, like it was a lock thing. I thought, come on, you've gone in their first week. You don't deserve to give them a 1-star review, which will have a massive effect because they haven't got many reviews.
Yeah,
and it's just, I think people definitely feel like everyone's obsessed with like restaurants charging X for bread or
Right.
and because a lot of things they can't make money on. So they might be serving you turbot that they're actually their margin on it once you add it all up is minuscule. And so if they're charging you £6 for sourdough and you're buying it, great, they're making some margin there. And I also always say, Will will roll his eyes, but like when you go into a really nice restaurant and you pay a lot of money for a dish, like the restaurant looks gorgeous, you might be sat in Marylebone and whatever's, and people go, oh yeah, but it's way cheaper. Kudu, right, is open in Peckham. They're charging a lot more in Marylebone than they were charging in Peckham, and people are complaining about that. But you when you're sat in that restaurant, you are effectively paying rent to be sat in somewhere really, really gorgeous.
Yeah.
And I think that people just forget that. They go, well, Indian food in my head costs this. Chinese food in my head costs this. You shouldn't be charging more for it. Yes, they should. They deserve to. And you hire a meeting room in the floor above. It'll cost you £300 an hour. But you're having a meeting downstairs with your wife or whatever.
Very good. That's a good pitch, actually.
A
meeting with your wife is.
But that's the thing. But then you're paying that money and you're getting fed and everything. And I think restaurants, especially depending on what cuisine they do, are finding it really hard. Like people's expectation of how much, like we're quite happy to pay 20 odd quid for a plate of pasta, but not happy to pay that for the equivalent noodle dish.
Yeah.
And that is really wrong. And I think people's perceptions of like cuisines need to change in terms of a value proposition and where you're sat.
Still trying to work out why I'm meant to roll my eyes.
Because I've said a few times to people about like my rebuttal to like, oh, but it's more expensive there now, and it's like you're paying rent.
Yeah.
You are paying more money to be sat somewhere like gorgeous, or to have the level of service that you're getting.
Of course. And so, knowing everything you guys know, it must cross your mind now and again that maybe we could get into this game. You love restaurants. You know everyone.
We know how hard it is. We have a lot of experience.
Everything I've just said.
Yeah, we have a lot of. I mean, we think we probably filmed in over 2,000 restaurants.
Yeah,
and we can see how hard it is, and we can support from outside.
So you're not ever tempted
for us to get in the game. Going, are we? Hey, I love giving people advice based on our experience.
Yeah.
But I'm not giving anybody advice based on my knowledge of a hospitality.
No.
No. I think we could probably do something where we curate, we pull our faves together, but I wouldn't ever think we want to start something totally fresh.
No, it would be totally deluded and quite arrogant of us to go,
yeah,
well, we've seen all this, let's open a restaurant. Like, we've got no idea what it takes.
No
idea.
I'm a terrible cook.
We'd have a good marketing arm, but there's so much more to it than that.
Yeah.
But yeah, as Will said, I think the idea of doing something like a timeout market in Lisbon, like doing that
just
type of thing would be really fun.
A little timeout market
where we have nothing to do with the actual.
Yeah. It's just great people.
Thing. But maybe one day.
Okay. Well, that leads me on to one of my last questions then, which is, what is coming down the line? It seems like you guys could do so many different things with this amazing beast you've created. What's Topjaw like in 10 years' time? Another 10 years. 20 years of Topjaw.
Because we're very lucky. We've got great management. YMU manage us, and we have these sort of like annual strategy meetings. And
Wow.
we meet the broadcast team. We want to chat about like, what we could do on TV. We could talk about publishing. We talk about all these like possible like routes that we could go. And we just really, really love making, the social content that we're making.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot more that we can do in terms of the development of that and the different series ideas, and but I think the idea right now of us doing something for broadcast probably isn't quite right. I think we both love the sort of creative freedom that we have, and that you can kind of come up with an idea on Monday, you can shoot it on Tuesday, and you can be live on Wednesday evening. Like we're so
That's
quick.
nice.
We're so quick. We have so much fun doing it, and
Yeah.
we're still like working out what people resonate most with, and we're offered all these amazing people, and we're trying to come up with different series ideas for sort of any brief. When someone comes in from the US for a press junket and they're not right for the Best of London interview, we're trying to come up with a series at the moment where we take them to the pub, and there's a chat show involved.
Okay.
There's something, something around.
There's just so it's funny because I think sometimes people see us now and go, cool, all right, well, you've done that, so what else? It's like no. We have so much to do. Like there are so many ideas, and there's not enough. We'd love more hours in the day in order to do more, and we're growing our team a little bit because we can see what would help us perhaps like achieve those goals. And doing it, having autonomy and social, as Will said, is that's like the best thing ever. But then it's a case of going, okay, well, how do we use this platform to help people more? So we're working more with Street Smart. We're launching our beer to then help more with Street Smart. We want to do more help those smaller businesses and just do way more storytelling, because recommendations are one thing, but actually what's way more interesting to us, and I think what's more interesting to the audience, is like, and Will's mentioned before, but the stories behind these, but delving more into them. So our Bar Italia reel, it's the longest reel we've ever done. You might not realize, but it's like 2 minutes 20, and we were told that you had to keep everything under 90 seconds because then it wouldn't get shown to new audiences if it was over, or people don't have the attention span or whatever. We're elongating our reels and people are really enjoying it. So I think, and we want to do more of that storytelling like on YouTube, and it's something we haven't cracked, like doing a whole long form YouTube video like on Bar Italia. We haven't worked out how to do that.
A mini documentary.
But that's what we want to do.
Yeah, that sounds nice.
And that's actually
it sounds nice, but we need people to watch it for it to be sustainable.
Yeah.
And so it's a case of going, okay, we need to proper knuckle down and work out how to do that.
Yeah.
Not in terms of like we can make it, but in terms of like how to
play it in the modern
the algorithm,
moment,
and how to
get the retention there and make sure that someone's sticking all the way to the end of that film.
Yes.
And not
the story arc, not just like telling nice stories.
There's all these like theories, and it's ever evolving, and we're trying so hard to like understand the landscape, and what resonates with people, how to get someone from the start of the film to be watching at the end. And that's forever, and that we'll be on that journey forever. Like the algorithms we change, will be our content. But yeah, I think as Jesse says, it's just telling more stories, and on long form would be my dream. I love making the films on short form worlds, but nothing's sexier than a proper landscape image of something more cinematic and long form. That's
where you started.
Must acknowledge as well that we call them films a lot, but equally they are videos.
Ooh, interesting distinction.
I was just with someone the other day and they were waxing lyrical about how people call a TV show a film, and they're like, they're not films. You can't call them films.
It's
so
cinema.
just in case anyone's listening to this being like, they're videos. Also acknowledge their videos. But they are also
films. Films on YouTube and videos on Instagram.
They can be films. They can be films in the same universe. They can be videos. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like those are very androgynous terms.
Androgynous.
Yeah.
Okay. Right. Then last couple of questions. What's the best restaurant in London? How often do you get asked that question? It's also going to be my other question.
How many times a day?
Yeah. Best restaurant in London.
Yeah, I get asked it quite a lot. Changes all the time. By the way, I'm so sorry if you can hear my
No,
stomach.
mate,
It
mine
is-
went at the same time.
Really?
I'm
We
hungry.
should have
It's
helped
like
you
you
select
said.
the complimentary Madeleines at the Jumeirah Carlton Tower.
We,
One more to
nice.
come.
I didn't
One
even
more to
notice that
come.
one. We filmed in Ibai the other day, which I was
Oh,
a
yeah.
serious fan of.
Basque, is that Basque?
Basque-inspired steakhouse.
Yeah.
You can put the word Basque in front of anything, and I feel
Yeah.
very attracted to it.
Yeah, it's
Hearty, flamey grilled.
Yeah.
It does deserve a lot of romantic attention, yeah. But another one that I really like is Camille.
Oh yeah, lovely.
Elliot's getting a lot of airtime on our channel at the moment.
He is, but it's because it's the one restaurant at the moment I'm thinking about a lot,
Yeah.
you know, and I'd like really want to go back. It really made an impression on me. Like I think there aren't many people in London who are doing something truly original. People are doing things brilliantly, but truly original. You know, he is St. John alumni, but he's making food with a similar ethos. You know, whole animal, doing things like using like udders and duck necks
Wow.
and all sorts of things. But he's making them
Oh,
genuinely delicious. It doesn't. If anybody is a little bit awful, it's probably because at some point in their life they've been served like a liver on a plate, or you know, a steak and kidney pie when there's not much steak in it. You know, he is using offal but really making it genuinely delicious. And brigadiers is just
Great fun.
hard to feel unhappy in. It is so good. And BB, you know, Chet Sharma at BB, like I feel like he's leveling up every single year. Like being fortunate enough to eat there, I think 4 times now. And each time I'm like, this is almost a different restaurant. Like it's getting better and better and better.
Will, any others for you, Ibai?
Mate,
You love
attention span of doom.
you love guacamole the other day in Peckham.
Oh yeah, guacamole's cool. Yeah, it's no, I think Share Thai is one of my favourites in Clapham. I always seem to go back there. Miriam Margulies gave it a little shout out on a podcast many moons ago, and it's very close to me. And it's just a very, very, very deeply authentic Thai restaurant.
Lovely.
And deserves some love.
Wonderful. Well, should we end on a night? You've got to go meet Miles Kane.
We do.
What's a great ending question?
You asking about asking
I'm
us?
asking you the question. I'm trying. Is there a nice way we can wrap this all up? How did you celebrate 10 years then? What was the kind of? Did you light some?
Well, we just haven't yet, really.
We haven't done enough.
So the next week is when
Yeah,
we blow the doors off.
that's the big. And actually, last night I had a horrible set of dreams,
Oh,
all about the party.
we should have just done this all about your dreams. Like people love hearing that kind of
But
thing.
obviously, I'm obviously quite like concerned and stressed about the party because it's a big party.
What are your fears that are going to go wrong? Do
I
you want
don't
to
know,
lie
maybe
down
that,
on the
like
sofa?
no one will turn up.
Okay,
Or,
it could happen, yeah.
or the opposite, people will crash it and it'll be like out.
Oh, mobbed.
Whoa.
You know,
Which is worse?
or
No one turning up.
no one turning up,
Definitely.
definitely worse. Or like, you know, the food not going to plan, or I don't know, just
Oh,
all sorts
mate.
of things. All sorts of things. I mean, the food will obviously go to plan, but like
It's gonna be so good.
we've asked Chet Sharma from BB, Florence May Magnanock from Donya and Panadera, and Elliot Cunningham from Lagom.
Yeah.
To basically do the food for
Okay.
us, which should be fun. They're all doing like 3 dishes each.
Yeah.
That will just then be fired out.
Wow.
Finger food. Yeah.
Finger food style.
Yeah, but like, I mean, there's canapes and then
Yeah.
we've asked them to
Canapes.
really dial it up. Yeah.
Yeah.
Canapes.
What are you guys going to do a speech?
Yeah.
I'll say a few words. Jesse will probably say more, I'd say. But you never
It's
know.
my department.
I'll probably plan mine. You'll probably freestyle.
Yeah. Oh, rap.
I'm doing a lot of freestyle speeches these days.
Really?
Yeah, like at the Knife Edge launch party,
Yeah.
they came up to me and went, Jesse Gordon wants to speak to you about your speech. I went, what fucking speech? And I had to go speak to Gordon Ramsay, and he was like, so this is how I'm going to introduce you. I'm going to say this, and I'll hand the mic to you. Is that okay? And I was like,
Gordon.
okay. Hadn't
Wow.
prepared a speech, so just had to like freeball it, to like 400 people.
How was that?
Yeah, it was all right. I mean, I listened to some of it back because people kept posting their Instagram stories, and I thought, oh, I wouldn't have said that, but whatever's. But we got the rap party tonight for Knife Edge, and so I think I've got to do the same thing.
Okay.
Are you getting lit?
I'm going to pump the brakes. It's a professional do, isn't it?
Yeah. We got a
Okay.
big day tomorrow.
10 pints.
We've got
10 pubs.
10 pubs tomorrow. We won't
Tough
bring
work.
the beer into conversation again.
Okay.
But
Overnight success. Available in all good pubs off of November 3rd.
we're doing a Topjaw pub crawl, and we're going to try and encourage people to do the same.
Okay. Encouraging binge
Like
drinking.
the Bermondsey Beer Mile, but it doesn't have a name yet. But the Topjaw.
Bit more logistics involved.
Okay.
Yeah.
Glorious. Will, Jesse, Topjaw, congratulations on 10 years. Thanks for doing this. And
Thanks for having us, Joe.
yeah.
Thank you very much. I've thoroughly enjoyed this.
And thanks, Gentleman's Journal. And any avid readers of Gentleman's Journal would also be very interested in my column that I write
Yes.
sometimes.
Absolutely, they will be.
Anything else
So
there being-
subscribe to Gentleman's Journal for more of this. if this has been okay. Wonderful.
Thank you.